Okay guys, you guys can see HackerRank here. This is something that's like super duper, I don't know, man. Like there's certain companies that will actually want you guys to have higher scores or will like submit your profile to get, to be able to get in. But on the other hand, I think there are also many companies that don't care about this, to be honest with you. So like at the end of the day, the more knowledge that you guys have, the better, right? And I can advise you that some places will have a requirement that you guys submit a HackerRank profile. They want to see how many types of algorithms you guys can solve, right? But I'm telling you, like once again, there are many companies that don't care. I'm trying to tell you the truth as I see it, okay? The truth as I see it. There's no right or wrong here. I want you guys to know, like, I can't predict what companies will want you guys to know in the future. I promise you, at Coder School, when I came and worked here, I wasn't asked to do an algorithm. I just showed an app, right? So, but that being said, I can say that there are, once again, big companies that will ask you guys to do this. So I'm gonna start small because that's what you guys requested. But at the end of the day, we're gonna do 3 problems that are really fucking hard, to be honest with you. Okay, I would be surprised if you guys could do one of them, the first one without help. Okay, and algorithms are one of those things that you got there is no easy solution. Okay, there's no magical bullet here, no silver bullet. It just takes practice, a lot of practice, and a lot of understanding of syntax. So to start off, because you guys suggested that we do the easy one, I am going to create a new account on HackerRank. I hope this works. We're gonna do a couple of them, and then I'm gonna do one problem on the other one. So let's go to HackerRank. We're gonna go to HackerRank. Okay, we're gonna say sign up in code right here at HackerRank. I'm gonna use my my Google. I hope this doesn't have an account. Loy@coderschool.vn. And now you guys can see that as soon as we sign in, HackerRank allows us to choose which programming language that we want to write code in. I'm gonna go with Python 3. And then you guys can see we are suggested our first challenge right here, right? So this is the UI. This is kind of scary at first if you guys aren't, if you guys haven't actually touched it yet. But just know that there's an introduction to the problem. You can read a little bit about like what the expectation for the function is, what input you will have, and what they expect the return value to be, right? What they expect the return value to be. You'll also see a sample input as well as a sample output, right? So what do you put into the function? What do you get out? Yeah, does that make sense, everyone? So we're gonna run our code right here. You guys can see that this is gonna throw an error. So it says that there's an indentation error, expected indented block on line 7, right? The reason why this is because this function, what's wrong with our function on line 3?
You're not on the side.
Exactly, so we could get past this error by doing this. By running pass, run it. And then now the error is still there, but it's a different error. It's saying that our code did not pass the test case. It's saying that it did not meet the requirements of the function, right? So we'll click more, and it said 2 out of 2 of our test cases have failed, right? So just know that HackerRank has already been set up with a lot of magical stuff that helps us focus on just writing code as a developer. They've already set up our test cases and etc., right? So the objective for solve me first is that they want this solve me first to accept 2 arguments. The first one being an integer, the second one being an integer, right? And the value that is returned should always be the sum of 2 arguments, the 2 arguments, right? So we can do how can we get this function to return the sum of its 2 arguments? Solve me first. Got to return A plus B, right? So we run our code. And now we should see that our tests pass and that this one algorithm has worked. Congratulations, we've done our first challenge. Okay, so we just say I'm a student. Fuck it, let's say student. I say I'm graduating 2023 because I'm pretty slow. And we're gonna keep moving, okay? So specifically, I want you guys to focus on the algorithms. And I want you guys to do these ones first because it's easiest, right? So now, like on algorithms, there are many different types of practice things that we can do on HackerRank, but right now we're gonna focus on algorithms, okay? That's what Coder School wants for you guys to focus on. So once again, we already did one, but you notice here that they get progressively harder. Like all the tests get, just progressively harder, right? So we're gonna start at the top and we're gonna move in. Once again, you guys can see that a simple array sum. Here's the name of the function, not the name of the function, but the name of the exercise. You can see a whole bunch of dope information, like the difficulty. They expect this one to be easy, right? And here's a whole bunch of like stuff that you guys like gotta get in practice, get in the habit of reading this and understanding it. I can sit here and read it for you guys, but I don't think that's very useful. I think you guys have to practice this yourself, right? So just know that right here, the requirement is, given an array of integers, find the sum of all of its elements, right? So just know that this function is going to take an array, and we need to do something with that array. We need to find the sum of all the elements. Most of them, they'll give you an example of like of the array or whatever input it is. Like here's the array, and then they'll give you exactly what the value should be. So given an array that contains 1, 2, 3, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 1 plus 2 plus 3, which evaluates to 6. Is that clear, guys? Yeah? Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll down, and we're gonna go ahead and we'll see that this is already set up for us. The first time we set this up, it will not have our preferred language. I don't know why, because we picked it earlier, but we need to pick it. So I'm gonna go to Python 3, and now you can see that this is fucking crazy, man. They wrote every single exercise in like, how many different programming languages is this? A ridiculous number. And know that there are tens of thousands of exercises here, right? And each one of these have their own description and blah, 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 okay? So we're on Python 3 right here. You should only ever be typing inside of the one function. Almost all of these they're gonna give you one function that's already set up. It's gonna tell you what arguments it takes, and it's gonna say, write your code here. Pretty simple, right? So just know that when we run the code, it's gonna fail because we haven't changed anything, right? They've set it up with the test for us, but we have not done anything. So once again, we're gonna get past this indentation error. Right now it says indentation, blah, blah, blah. If we throw a pass up there on line 10 and we run the code, we're gonna get past the indentation error, but our test will fail. Why does the test fail? Because when HackerRank called our function, we did not return anything. So it called our function with an array right here with 6 elements inside of it. When that function returned, there was nothing returned right here. Does it make sense? Why is there nothing returned here? Because we didn't return anything. Notice if I put return hello world, we run the code. What do you expect to see on the output down here? Hello world, right? But that's not what they want. The expected output is 31, given these inputs right here. Yeah? So how can we write an algorithm which will do that? Well, I remember specifically saying this to you guys when I talked about map. Remember the dot map? Array dot map. I told you if you ever call this and you ignore the input, that's really stupid, right? So that's essentially like, remember this right here, the element right here? If you're mapping over an array of elements, you need to grab it. You need to capture that input. Because if you don't look at it, what's the point of mapping over it? So in this case, what is the value that we need to capture? That we need to pay attention to? Array, exactly. So we're gonna say for num in array, we'll say total plus equals num, right? So you can see that we have a complaint. The reason why it's complaining is because we don't have a value called total. So we'll just go ahead and define it. Total is equal to 0. And then what do we do here? What's the last step? Yes, we need to return total. Now my expectation is if we run the code, it should pass the test. And did we pass our test? Yes, we did. So we'll submit our code, and then it's gonna run some more tests, all these different outputs. I'll see. Sometimes they don't show you that test case because they don't want it to be too easy. Yeah. But just know up here in submissions, you guys can at the very top. There's like a tab right here. You guys can look at the problem. You can look at other submissions, right? other submission or your own submissions, you can look at the leaderboard, how other people did this. Some dude from me, I got a perfect score of 10, amazing. And then you can look at discussions. Discussions right here is where you guys will see, you guys can cheat. Okay, discussions, you're gonna see people, they give you answers, to be honest with you. Say again?
What's the first comment say?
I'm dead serious, man. This shit is hard, man. These things are really hard. Yeah, and like you guys can see, there's like a whole bunch of people. Everyone's trying to compete and to have the best HackerRank score, right? And just know, like, I'm dead serious. Like, I know Line, for example. Line, this company right now, if you want to apply for Line from ITVIC, you know, like you have to have a HackerRank score. Oops, my bad. I don't know, man. I get confused on this myself. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't know how important it is. To me, at the end of the day, if you can build a production application, I think that's pretty much what they're looking for, right? Where can I find Line? Whatever. It's not important. I'm sure. I hope you guys trust me. Okay. We're gonna do 2 more, and then we're gonna move on to the internal one that CoderScore has provided for you. Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, so we submit it. Now we need to move on to our next one. How come it doesn't say? Okay, so after you submit it right there and you get your test case passing, you can go on to the next challenge. Okay, so this challenge is Alice and Bob each created 1 problem for HackerRank. A reviewer rates the 2 challenges, awarding points on a scale of 1 to 100 for 3 categories: problem clarity, originality, and difficulty. We find the rating of Alice's challenge to be the triplet A0, A1, A2, and the rating for Bob's challenge to be B0, B1, B2, okay? So we're just gonna read this very carefully. I don't even remember doing this one, fuck. Typically, you guys just wanna, so let's just look at, this is the most important thing to me, okay? Look at the input, look at the output. And these things are actually quite hard, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? You gotta read these very, very carefully. Each created 1 problem for HackerRank. A reviewer rates the 2 challenges, awarding points on a scale of 1 to 100 for 3 categories: problem clarity, originality. So basically, this problem right here is trying to determine how good a problem on HackerRank is based on 3 things. What are the 3 things that their criteria? Problem clarity, originality, and difficulty. We define the rating for Alice's challenge to be the triplet A0, A1, A2, blah, blah, blah. The task is to find their comparison points by comparing A0 with B0, A1 with B1, and A2 with B2, okay? So comparison points is the total points a person earned. Given A and B, determine their respective comparison points. So let's say if, for example, Alice is 1, 2, 3, Bob is 3, 2, 1, for element 0, Bob is awarded a point because, why is Bob awarded a point? Because Bob's 0 index is greater than Alice's 0 index, right? Bob is awarded a point. For the equal elements, A1, B1, which is, they're both 2, right? No points are earned. Finally, for elements in place 2, if Alice is greater than Bob, is it Bob? Yeah? So Alice receives a point. Our return array would be 1 and 1, with Alice's score first and Bob's score second, right? Is that clear? So let's see what happens, okay? Let's think about this. So so now notice how like the Python 3 right now is automatically done. It's because our last one is there, okay? So how can we do this? So we can say, we'll define an array, right? Scores, and this is going to return something. It's going to return like 3, 0 or something like that, right? Right? But let's just go ahead and compare them. I'm going to do this the most stupid way possible and let you guys figure out how to do it smarter, okay? So we're just going to do A0 is greater than, oh my bad. If A0 is greater than B0, if A0 is greater than B0, what happens? Yes, so Alice plus equals 1. We're going to call it Alice. So Alice is equal to 0, Bob is equal to 0. Okay, now we can just copy this down. Now just leave this right now. Let's check the other case. If Bob is greater, then Bob is plus equal 1. Okay? Now we have one more condition that we need to check for. If they're equal, right? If they're equal, then what happens? Neither one is awarded a point, so we don't actually need to do anything else, right? So we need to do the same thing, except position 1, right? I just realized I did this wrong. And I'm gonna do this really bad right now. I like doing it stupid first. Do it stupid first, and then afterwards you guys will figure out a smarter way to do this. When I put it in loose, man, I confuse myself, man. I can write code and confuse the shit out of my own self. Okay, so I expect you guys to do the exact same thing, to be honest with you. Okay, so we're gonna do this one more time. So we did the first 2, 1, 2. Now we need to switch this one to 2. Now what do we return down here, guys? Look at the signature. Remember that we talked about the signature a lot, right? What's the signature that this thing is expecting back? The array. It's expecting an array. The first one is representing A. The second one is representing B. Okay. So now inside of our problem, we're just going to return A and B. So I'm going to run the code first and see what happens. Oh, my bad. Oh shit, my bad. Yeah. Thank you. Alice. Wow. Run the code. Does it work? Works, right? Let's submit the code. When we run it, it only throws 2 test cases, right? But when we submit it, it throws many test cases at it, okay? Because there's a bunch of different ways this thing can break, okay? If you guys do it wrong, it will break, okay? So I promise you this is going to test it very, very well. Does anyone have any questions so far? I want you guys to start on this one, man. This because like the one that we're about to show is actually really pretty hard if you ask me. Want to do one more? You guys want to do one more? Yeah? Ricardo's the only one who says yes. I don't think anyone else wants to see another one, huh? All right, let's move on. I know I'm boring you guys. No one else shook their head. I'm confused, so I'm just going to keep moving. Okay, so I'm going to share this link to you guys. Share.
Crazy.
Okay, so I'm going to share this inside of Discord. So here's one right here, guys. I shared you guys that thing right there. I'm also going to share to you this form right here, okay? So we're going to copy this one as well. You guys need to, once you guys copy this, it's a very important step. This is not going to work correctly if you guys do not do this correctly. I want you guys to pay attention, please. You guys should both, you guys should all see that we had an algorithm problem set as well as a Excel solutions, Excel. Can you see it? Yeah? Okay, so how does this work? So I'm gonna stop this one right here, and I'm gonna open up okay, I'll do Laureate Coder School, and we're just gonna open up this this Google Lab, and I'm gonna show you how this works. We're gonna open up this Colab as well as this fuck. Motherfucker. Hold on. My bad, guys. I thought I gave you the link, no? What the fuck? Interesting. How do I fucking open this? I did share with
Anyone.
but I clicked to share with anyone with the link. Share. Anyone? Oh, my bad. I didn't read that. My bad. Okay, anyone with the link. My bad. Okay, let's try this one again. I'm gonna copy the link. We're gonna go back over to Discord. Gonna edit this. I refresh it. Or,
It's the same link. You don't need to.
no, it's actually a different link. I just edited it. Can you open it now? Can you guys open it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get that other one. Hold on. One second, guys. 1 second. Okay, so this is one we also need. We'll copy this. Okay, so we'll go to more. Anyone with the link, save. Okay, copy. Can you guys? Who here can open up the Excel? Okay, fine. All right, fine. Okay, so now I'm trying to do this on a different count to show you guys something, to prove this thing that you need to set your count up correctly. Okay, refresh. Okay, so now we're gonna open up with our Google Collaboratory as well as this thing right here. Okay, there we go. So you guys, what you need to do is you need to put in your name right here. Fuck. Make a copy, okay? My bad. Make a copy of both of these for yourselves first, guys, okay? Go File, save a copy in Drive. First do this on the Google Colab so that you can edit it. And then do the same thing on the Excel. Okay? Okay, so you guys will now see that this is the original one that I shared with you guys, and on the right is the new one that I made a copy of, okay? There's a very important step here that we're gonna mess. I hope you guys don't mess up. So we're gonna change the name of our copy of the Excel. We're gonna call it Solutions. Solutions, and that'll just be good enough for now. And then I'm gonna type in Lord Tran as the name. And what the idea here is that you guys can paste in your code for problem 1, problem 2, and problem 3. There are 3 problems. Okay. Paste them in one at a time as you guys complete them. And then I'm gonna show you how to set it up so that you can run these algorithms, okay? So obviously there's a little bit of reading. This is hopefully set you guys up for understanding like the complexities of big O notation, blah, blah, blah. Whenever you guys open up Colab, remember that you guys need to run this setup, okay? It's gonna when we run these little code blocks right here, it's gonna set up the application. It's gonna import dependencies. Just imagine this is like part of our file being run, okay? We go from the top down. That's why at the very top is always importing the dependencies, because we need these, right? We need these to be alive for all of the other code cells. So I'll hit Shift plus Enter to run it. And you guys will see that it's running, it's running, it's running, it's running. It always takes a little while the first time that we run this. Okay, it's run. It did not throw an error. Excellent. That's a good thing. So we're also going to run our test function. This test function is just going to it's basically going to test our code. You guys don't need to worry about what it does, to be honest with you. But you guys can go ahead and read it. It'll actually be good for you. This is what Hyman wrote, okay? So just know there's some good Python code right here. I'm gonna read it. Next, this is the most important step right here. This is why I was trying to tell you that we're all about to fuck this up, I think. So we're gonna run Shift plus Enter here. Oh my bad, before you can do that, you see where it says Algorithm Solution 13.3? You need to change that to be the name of this file, right here. Whatever file you rename it to. So we're gonna change this to Solutions. So just know that I wish there was I don't like this tool, to be honest with you. There's no line number, so it's hard to explain, blah, blah, blah. So this line that I have highlighted right here, Google Colab is going to just know how to magically look at the file, find a file in your own drive by the name of this exact thing that you put in right here, right? So if I run this now, you guys will see that it doesn't throw an error. It's just going to read the input from that file and collect that data. Okay, and now you see that it's gonna pop up this thing at the very bottom, guys. Please pay attention to this. It's gonna pop up this link right here, okay? You have to click this link. You have to authorize Google Colab. You say, okay, I allow, and we need this thing right here. We need this thing right here. We copy that. We go back to our Colab exercise and we paste right here, okay? Then we hit enter. I know, I'm sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on. And there we go. So it doesn't throw an error, we don't see red, so we're good to go. So now we need to run this part right here. We're almost there, guys. This is basically how we're gonna score you guys, okay? There's a whole bunch of black magic called Python in here. This Python is going to help us evaluate your tests. It's gonna do a bunch of magical stuff for us, okay? So we're gonna scroll down. Here is where we can test a little bit, but just know, like, you guys gotta read these descriptions. Where's that? Right here. This is the problem that you guys need to solve. This is very similar to what we're gonna do on HackerRank, okay? Here's a function, it needs to behave a certain way. Given this input, we need that output. And here's the description right here. You gotta read this and think carefully, okay? There's no other, I wish there was like a magical bullet for all of us learning. I wish there was some pill I could take to learn how to do algorithms better, but I think the only solution is to just read it and think carefully. So now you guys will see that if I run this, it's going to throw an error. The reason why it's throwing an error is because we have not yet put any solutions inside of here, right? So right now, so let's go ahead and work through the first solution, or the first problem. Actually, my bad. So this problem was recently asked by Google, given a list of numbers and a number k, return whether any two numbers from the list add up to k. So they're gonna give you an array as the first argument. The second argument is going to be a number. So the objective here is to find, are there two numbers inside this array that when added will be the equivalent of k? So look at this example right here. We have an array of 10, 15, 3, and 7. Are there any two numbers here that add up to be 17? Correct. So 10 and 7 that add up, will both add up to be 17. Thus, this function should return true. Yeah? Okay, so how can we implement this? Say again?
This isn't required to find a consecutive number.
No, yeah, this one's not consecutive. So I'm gonna move. I don't like doing this in Colab. To me, it's much more difficult to work in Colab. I don't like it. I'm allowed to not like it. That is my right. Okay, that is my right. So I'm not gonna save. I'm gonna say demo. I'm gonna put this on desktop. I'm gonna say demo. Let's just say algorithms. Algorithms. I don't know how to spell that. Okay, fuck it. I think I spelled it wrong. Okay, so now we're gonna copy over this test case right here. Okay, that right there. Paste. Okay, so now you guys can see that what are we expecting right here? We need to have a function called toSums, right? So we're gonna find a function called toSums. It's gonna take an argument of what? Args, okay? And then what does this do? Remember, the first argument here is, the argument inside of this thing right here, inside of this tuple is gonna be a list, okay? So watch this. So if I did print args, what would we see? So we go to desktop, we do Python, algorithms. And you guys see that the first argument for our tuple is what? An array. So we want the array. So we say lists right here. Here's our list, and the second argument is our k. Now if we print list, and then we print k, what do you guys expect to see? Obviously, the list is the array, the k is the 20, okay? So now how can we do this? Okay, so this is magical thing, a new data type that I haven't actually shown you guys in detail yet, but it's called a set. Okay, a set is like an object. And just know that the object, what's important about the object is that it gives us keys, and it's a lot easier to use, okay? Keys and values, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new set. Okay, this is how we can declare a new set right here. And the set is just going to look at all of the variables, all of the values that we've already seen. We're gonna do for number in list, right? Because we're looking at each one of these numbers, okay? We're looking at each one of these numbers. For each number in our list, if the original number that is passed in, k, minus that number is in our list seen, then we return true. Because that basically means that there is a number, one of these numbers right here. So just know that k right here, what is k in this case right here? 20, right? It's 20. right? So when we subtract 10, what's left? 10, right? So if there's a 10, the 10 is left, and there's another 10 inside of our set, then it's true, right? Otherwise, we're simply going to say send dot add num. Okay, so basically, this is going to, here, let's just look at what happens, okay? We're gonna, sorry, this is not JavaScript. Let's look at our scene. And you guys can see that our set is going to grow, right? It's just going to grow as every single time we look at a value, right? So now just know that after all of these are done, after we've looked through all of these numbers, if this does not return true on line 8, that means that we went through every single number and we added them all up, but evaluated to be false. Yeah? Or did not evaluate to be false. Just know that 2 numbers in the array did not add up to be the final value. So now we're going to return false. Okay. So now, what's the expectation for this value, this input right here? 10, 2, 2. Given that array, that list right there, and the k of 20, should this return true or false? False, right? Because what 2 numbers here inside this array can add up to be 20? All right, so let's go ahead and look at our solution. Do comp, my bad. We'll say print test case 1, and the value would be solution. Okay, we'll run it again. My expectation is that this is false. Is it false? Okay, so can we make this, okay, can someone help me make this become true? What number can we add to our array to make this true?
10.
Yes, we can add a 10. We save it. Now the expectation is, if this ran correctly, we should see a true. And is this true? I know, so this is not a great, I think that we should have had a couple more solutions for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go down here. We're gonna add 2 of these. We're gonna say, okay. Here we go. We're gonna go ahead and add a couple more test cases to make sure they work correctly. Okay, so this one should evaluate to be true, right? Because the 10 plus the 10 will equal 20. And we're gonna go ahead and delete this one right here. And 10 plus 2 is 12. 10 plus 2 is 12. 2 plus 2 is 4. None of these numbers is 20, right? Now we're just gonna get this one to pass. 12. Okay? So we're gonna say, now we're gonna name this correctly, okay? We're gonna say test 1, 2, 3. So my expectation is what, guys? We should see true, false, true. Oops, that print. Okay, let's get rid of this. And do we see true, false, true? Yes, we do. So I have a hypothesis that this bad boy works. That's my hypothesis. Okay, so does anyone have any questions?
What?
Yeah, what's the difference between set and the list? Because I suspect that if we use a list, they still work.
A list is like an array, right?
In this case.
You want to see it be like list?
Yeah.
Like that?
Set is like to find a unit inside a list. The unit item inside a list. And if there's a duplication, you will see a number of duplication right next to the element.
Same one as in JavaScript, right?
Yeah.
Basically works the same
In
as that.
JavaScript, we had to do a, try to use set, an array inside, and then, for example, 210.
Look, man, like
Set list online, set list.
Say again?
Yeah,
What do you want me to do here?
yeah. Set.
List? I know what you're
Set
talking.
it and then put the element inside.
Oh, okay. Set? And that you mean?
Yeah, and then bring this. Remove all the
Qua. All right, we'll qual this up, man. I like it. I like where qua's going with this. All right, let's see what happens. So just know that the set will remove duplicate values in this case. Set is going to give you all the unique values in that array. That's what it does. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Any other questions? Thank you for the question, Hi. Guys, these other two problems are really fucking hard. Okay, like to be honest with you, I would be shocked if one of you guys figured out how to do these problem 2 and problem 3. This thing makes my head hurt. Okay, so just start with the HackerRank for a little bit. That is something I really like. I'm telling you, I can send you some confidential messages, but I don't actually want to show you guys my messages. But just know there are many companies that are wanting HackerRank scores, and it'll be good for us to practice our syntax and stuff. Okay, guys. I know you guys all want to work on your project, but like but we also want you guys to work on this too. Yeah. Okay, guys. Can we try to work? Can we set up our HackerRank today and do the warm-up exercises? Okay. I think you guys can do the warm-up exercises today on your own and man. I don't know if we have unreasonable expectations of you guys, to be honest with you, sometimes. Because, like, I'm telling you, these problems are really fucking hard right here. Problem 2 and 3 are really hard. Oh, my bad. My bad. Guys, we're not done yet. I completely forgot something. So, we got this working, right? I forgot to show you the last part. We got this working. Now we need to copy our code over to our solutions. Okay, we double-click here. Make sure you guys double-click here, okay? Because if you don't double-click, it's going to throw an error. I did this morning. I fucked around all morning, and I couldn't figure out how to do this correctly. So what you want to do is you want to double-click and expand so that when you paste, it what? It respects the indentation, and it does not paste across multiple cells. Okay? So now that we've done that, we can jump back over to our copy of our algorithms, and then we can run our test again. Oh, my bad. This one down here. I feel like I did something wrong. Fuck me, I think I should have done something. Fuck. Hold on, let me start over again, my bad. I think I need to... Okay, we ran this one. I ran that one. We run this one, it runs. Okay, we run our test function. Okay, we run this one. Okay, it read the input. Oh, my bad. After you guys add to the solutions right here, your own solutions right here, then you have to run this block right here again, the read solutions block, yeah? So just rerun this one again. Now my hypothesis is if I scroll down to problem 1, and then I do shift enter, I expect this error goes away. Fuck. Fuck, man, I deleted something earlier. I don't think I was supposed to do that. Fuck. I know, but I deleted a code block. I didn't want to give you guys a solution. It was right here. We say define 2 sums. It takes an array. We'll just say pass right now. Let's see if this gets past the error. Okay, there you go. Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't have deleted that. That's my bad. Okay. So just know that right here, one of the sexy things that the machine learning class really likes about this tool right here is we're gonna do a whole bunch of black magic right here. Okay. So just know that there's this thing right here where basically it says this thing is going to run every single solution inside of here. We might have one called qua, and then qua might do something like this. I don't think I did that right. And so basically it's going to compare. So we're gonna save it. We're gonna go back over here. We're gonna make sure that we get the solutions again, okay? We're gonna go up here where it says get solutions, read solutions. We gotta run this again. It's just like getting the newest version of that Excel file, okay? After we update that, now we're gonna go down to our original problem, and then we're gonna run the test case. And basically this is going to compare the algorithms, right? It's going to show you what the return value is, who wrote it, what the return value is, as well as how quickly it ran. This is fucking mind-blowing to me. How is this different? I just copied and pasted the code. Hold on, man. This is fucking mind-blowing. Very similar. Okay. Well, that's what I was anticipating. It's awesome. Man, sometimes like programming is, to be honest with you, man, sometimes I wonder whether or not I want to be programming for the rest of my life, because like this shit right here kind of annoys the fuck out of me.
Just
You
like
know?
man.
How are we supposed to write a test for this? This is the exact same code. Why is it different? I don't know, to be honest with you.
So
I'm-
like the marathon, you run 1 kilometers, then this time it take less time, then the second time it take longer.
Maybe it's internet.
Shit like that.
There's so many different things it could be, guys. So just know that, okay, let me go ahead and actually, I need to fix these two. What it was, I deleted something I shouldn't have. My bad. It's called rotate. So this rotate one, also, I'm going to, you know, we're going to just call it args. We're going to pass this. And then we're going to run it again, okay? This one is super complicated, man. I'm looking at the answer and I feel like I don't understand it. So the reason why you see this list index is out of range, the reason why it says this is because basically, we don't have anything in here yet. Yeah? And I want you guys to do problem 1, problem 2, problem 3. When we're all done, we're going to compare them. We're going to compare our algorithms against one another, okay? All right, so does anyone have any questions? I remember start with. I would highly recommend you guys start with the HackerRank ones. They're way easier. Okay, these ones are really hard. Don't blame yourself. I'm telling you guys, when I read the answer. I already have the answer. I feel confused. Okay, I talk to you guys about this a lot. Programming is hard, and this is one. We're gonna take this one day at a time. Yeah. So I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. I know it's hard, but we need you guys to just build that muscle in your brain that does the algorithms. Yeah, I'm working on this with you guys. Okay. So anyway, let's start off with HackerRank and let you guys get working. Okay, I've been talking 42 minutes.